legitimately can become part of the Hindu government of Kailasa. And the first level training is what is going to be happening through the Kumbh Mela that is going to be happening. Through this, we're going to be receiving direct guidance and various different sessions where each and every one of you who are becoming part of the Member of Parliament of Kailasa, which is part of the Rajya Sabha of Kailasa, will get to experience and will have direct privileges. So there are going to be various levels of sabhas within the Hindu Parliament that we want to cover with every one of you today is going to be the Rajya Sabha. The Rajya Sabha is where each and every one are ready to stick your neck out for all of them and make it happen. Get on the ground and do that and spend your time and life towards all of you will be awarded as the members of the Hindu Parliament, Sabha of the Hindu Parliament, and all the Sarvajñapita Yajamata manifestors, all of you will be awarded where you will get the privileges for voting on policies that will be required for governing of Kailasa, and the separate set of voting rights, and the Chit Sabha members set of voting rights. So we'll be sharing further details about one of you as we go down through the day today. And towards becoming part of Kailasa, as we all know, announced the sovereign locations, many of the sovereign locations and autonomous locations, autonomous territories and sovereign. And in many of these sovereign autonomous, we have a functional government. The government is already functioning and we are already having Adinavasis, New Kailasasis, Sannyasis who have already started living, moving to our sovereign territories. And so today we want to share with each and every one of you, you can become part of the Hindu Parliament and how just if you are interested and if you want to become part of the government, it is open for each and every one of you. All of you can apply. Further, as we continue now. Sorry, go ahead.
I just wanted to add, it, you know, Shiva program, right, where the direct training and guidance can impact Hindu rules and regulations and how to implement them, right? The right cognition, the understanding to be Hindu, what Sanatana Hindu Dharma is all about. And each of these structures that every one of us, those who are born Hindus and those who have adopted Hinduism as their life, this is an opportunity to get to the depths of the knowledge and the context. With that, even there is so much that can be accomplished, and you feel able to make a difference by being part of the guidelines, the rules, and the way things are streamlined out for people, right? And that is what it is about, you truly making a difference and in the communities and society that's around us, right? You get to manage, you get to impart that knowledge, you get to share the right cognitions that are needed for them to develop their lives. This is all about. It gives us the strength to make.
Very much, ma. And especially at this point, need for the Hindus to wake up and to protect. We'll be sharing with every one of you some of the statistics of what with regards to the entire Hindu population around the world and how it is a requirement. It is for every one of us to stand up to become voice for the part of this great revival of Kailasa. Swamiji has already done as the first sovereign nation for Hindus, and now it is part of it to become a part of it and to take the responsibility. So I'd like to now share with each and every one of you. Will be sharing about the Kumbh Mela, because it is through this Kumbh Mela the first who are becoming part of the Hindu Parliament of Kailasa. It is through of us are going to get trained. All of us are going to receive the direct personal guidance from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism to part of the Hindu Parliament of Kailasa. So we'd like to now go ahead and share with each and every one. And when we look at the history of Kumbh Mela, huge and a very ancient history. When we look at the history of Kumbh Mela, the Kumbh Mela was actually over the last many thousands of years. And this actually is the Milky Ocean. When the churning of the Milky Ocean, as most of us are aware, right, the Devas and the Asuras, both of them, all of them were churning the nectar of immortality. And when at that time, there was a fight where and take it. So during that entire war, four drops of nectar actually fell, and they fell in four different places, which is Hari and Prayag. It is these four places in India that dropped. The nectar drops had fallen. So every 3 years, that same cosmic happening, that same cosmic alignment. Understand, all of this is not just myth. It is actually the constellations, whatever were the planetary positions during which the Amrita, the nectar drops, fell on the planet. Planetary positions come in every 3 years once, where those four places. And during that time, the is conducive for that superconscious energy to once again land of our life. So this time, this year in 2025, we are going to be having Prayag. The Kumbh Mela in Prayag is going to be one of the largest And we are expecting 500 million people for the Kumbh Mela in Prayag. And this around the world, we all need to understand that the Kumbh Mela is the largest and most peaceful gathering all religions, not just in Hinduism, across all religions for millions of enlightened masters, millions of incarnations have when the Amrita, when during that exact period when the Amrita dip, all the Hindus actually come and have the sacred of Prayag. So during that time, that very same energy manifest in each and every one of our life. During this time, we have hundreds of thousands of enlightened masters, Bhagavan himself, who is energizing the entire period in time. All the deities of various incarnations, gods and goddesses, all of them are actually brought and kept in the water during this sacred period. When we take the dip in that water, we go through a condition and a powerful experience in our life, giving to happen. In fact, all of this is also scientifically recorded. Before, if you look at it, some of the scientists, for example, like when he did his research on water, as simple as where cups of water in isolated rooms, and each of words and positive words and stuck it on the glasses of water. And in some, he wrote positive words like love, beauty, and like those positive words. And on the other side, and negative words like anger, violence, depression. He would just go and spend about 5 minutes just out of the water. And he did that water, whatever was the word he had written. You will understand. He actually crystallized this water and saw it under the microscope, which had positive emotions or the positive words that were crystals that were there. Whereas the words which had were all spoiled. If just one glass of water with one word can make so much of a difference, the amount of superconscious energy receiving, especially during the Kumbh Mela, and when the incarnation himself, when Swamiji himself, the entire water, it is the greatest happening that you can ever receive part of. And when we look at the ritual aspect of the Kumbh Mela, there is the Kumbha, which is the pot of Kapila Mahamuni. Kapila, the Maham, is actually the founder and the reviver of the which the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is the 1008th Mahamandaleshwar, Muni who established this tradition. And his dipped into the river at this same time. And it is Swamiji was coronated as the 1008th Mahamandaleshwar of the Mahanirvani Akhada as back in 2007. And it is the Mahanirvani the Kumbh Mela in Prayag for over the last 3,000 plus years. The complete rites, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has the complete organize the Kumbh Mela this time in India. Swamiji very first time organized Kumbh Mela in 2005, 2006, and since Entire Kumbh Mela itself has taken to a next level. Mukti Kama to share a few more words about actually organizing and conducting Kumbh Mela in the US, the very first time.
Spiritual heads from various mutts and adinams had invited them and had actually Kumbh Mela in LA, and where the energy of what one would experience in India, he made sure that people actually got to experience that. What happened was there was a lot of, whether it was the Abhishekam of the deities to the homas, the fire rituals that energize the water, to energize the whole space, and bring their deities from their temples and their organizations. The grand big pool that was created, the energy of having Swamiji there, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, if I could say, is bringing the energy of divinity to that space. Inviting all the gods, inviting all the divine, entities to come. And so when each one who comes there with that intention of being blessed, you get to experience what it means to stand in front of God, blessing. And that is exactly what had happened. And what it was also, right? When so many different temples and all, heads of so many, places, meant collaboration, it meant unity, it meant oneness. The auspicious, it brings peace and harmony of working together for the betterment of the world. And such a powerful experience by everybody when Swamiji brought Kumbh Mela to the United States. Even today, there are people who never forget what they have experienced. It is something that no person should miss. It is very personal. It goes deep into your hearts. Like I said, space of oneness, Advaita, amongst organization, knowing that we are here standing together. And that was the statement that came from the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. So proud that we have been a part of this, and we have organized a few. Forward to doing the same, bringing back that energy in front of everybody as a nation, as representatives of a nation, of Kailasa, the nation in the world that is bringing each and every being outside of India also. Absolutely not to be missed is what I would share.
Yes, ma'am. If you have missed the Kumbh Mela in the US, how many of you actually attended the Ujjain, which was the last one in India that we had celebrated, or the Nasik before that, or the Prayag before that? How many of you attended any the Simhastha Kumbh Mela that took place in one of the biggest and massive program that was conducted? Numbers of the people who were there, we had over 10,000 people within our camps, and we had over 100,000 every single day. You can look at some of the photographs that we are showing all of you. Program. In fact, we had over 200 It's more like a day zero. It's called as the Peshwai, which is the procession, the parade entrance of the enlightened masters. And so at that time, we had literally 200 temple procession cars and the what we call as the rathas. 200 that we had organized, the Supreme Pontiff of Hindu, a celebration like none. It was a celebration like none. It was full, exciting, inspiring event, and literally we had full on-scale program, which was the Shuddhadvaitam. 5,000 delegates who were there, and another 5,000 people who were all complete, who were there in our camp, preparing continuously and serving the people. 100 countries who had joined, and every single person, over one was blessed by the Supreme Prasadam. 24/7, day and night, we had given the Annadana, and over 15 million meals were served just within, understand, 15 million free 45 days. And we had the free medical camp. We had days during this period in time with grand rituals, the best, bringing the glory of Hinduism to the entire world, showing the glory, true tradition of Hinduism to the entire world. Period in time when we had showcased the Parameshwara Shakti to the entire world to show what really Hinduism is, one of us are capable of. So it is this historical are now going to once again celebrate and around the world, which is going to be around the world. We are Los Angeles, California, where that is where the major event is going. Year-old legacy of organizing Kumbh Mela, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, a grand and the first ever Kumbh Mela that is going to be conducted by a last many thousand years. Please listen carefully. After we have established Kailasa, after the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism has established, this Kumbh Mela is going to be marking history. You who are going to become part of the Rajya Sabha of Kailasa, of not just organizing Kumbh Mela, but all of you are going to become the first batch of the Kumbh Mela, or Rajya Sabha members of the Hindu Parliament, and the organizing of Kumbh Mela. In Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism conducted the first ever largest Kumbh Mela. See the photographs where literally the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism spent night preparing and bringing that same authentic, all the way from energizing the deities to all the way to training individuals on how to carry, how to do the alankar. Every taught, guided by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism himself. The Hindu leaders from various parts of the country, various parts of the gathering together to do the yatra and having the grand Kumbh Mela. This time with a vision gathering 100,000 Hindus during itself. If you look at the dates, it starts from January 14, 28, 26th. So it basically starts on Pongal and goes. And during this period in time, there are going to be multiple Snan dates where the cosmic energy land. We are having the large scale gathering during this period. Sena itself is the program that is going to be happening from 10th. And all those, each and every one of you, take this jump and be a part of this great happening. The first and foremost for each and every one of you is to travel. If you're out of India, travel to Los Angeles, California for that 1 month period itself is from December 10th to January 10th. And then another itself will be there starting from January 13th to February 26th of the preparation, which is from December 10th. Every one of you who are ready to take this jump, take your time off from everything else, from your relationships, from everything, and give yourself that breakthrough. Receive the opportunity, will be officially part of Hindu Parliament of Kailasa. For each and every one of you on the screen, it is e-citizen-us Kumbh. US KUM is projected for all of you on the screen. You can go ahead and sign up. It is absolutely free of cost. You just need to come over. You need to take care of your and served by us. You just need to take care of your accommodation, organizing. Be part of where you are going to get to be part of the Hindu government officially, where all of you will be officially awarded the recognition as the part of the Rajya Sabha of Kailasa. Muktikama, would you like to add something over here?
In the Kshetra or the center here for Kailasa USA, where we program the space, the center, and the very to experience the camaraderie. You get to experience being supported and people who are also on a similar journey such as yourself, guided by an avatar, guided by the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism. There is absolutely no words of fulfillment that is coming your way. And the only thing, yes, I want to be a part of that intention, right? The moment you seek it out, Hinduism, the avatar, and every form of divinity that you that it happens. Just take that step to say yes. And
Yes, ma. And for every one of us, this event that is going to be happening in is not just one other event, it is one main event in history for every one of you. Whether you're seeking for, looking for breakthrough in your relationships, in health, anything is going to give you. All of us have, so many of us have actually experienced those December programs with Bhagavan, where Bhagavan, the flagship programs of Kailasa. This December, the program where every one of us awakening or the spiritual blast, but Swamiji is taking it to the next to become part of the government and part of the nation. It is a whole different level that we are speaking. In India and want to become part of this, of the Rajya Sabha of Kailasa. So what you sign up in the link that is also projected for you on the screen, which is e-citizen, and the requirement for those in India are, which is December, January, and February. So all these who are ready to take your time off and give your life for the of the Kumbh Mela, all of the Rajya Sabha of Kailasa. So those of you who are out of India, take 1 month off from December 10th to January 10th and fly part of the program, attending the Parameshiva Sena program from there. So all India, all of you can be a part there, and all of you would become part. And those of you who are within India, the requirement is for you to take the entire month of December, January, and February, and go to our camp in Prayag and become a volunteer there and become part of this great happening. So these are the two who want to become part of the sign up and ecitizen.info/USCUM. And those of you the Kumbh Mela in India and are ready to take 3 months off your for the Kumbh Mela, you can sign up at ecitizen.info/Kumbh. Paramashivoham. It is that each and every one of us are taking this jump and this journey. When it comes to the part about the Rajya Sabha, and which is all of you who want to be a part of the local, basically all the other Hindu organizations, Hindus who are around the world who are ready to take up the responsibility of this gathering, of this nation, all of them, the honorary post of the Hindu Lok Sabha of the Hindu members and the Chit Sabha members will have the right to nominate of Kailasa. And all of you will actually receive rights for various policies, for various administrative governments within Kailasa. And you will all get to be parties of Kailasa. So that is the most important thing that you, because all of us need to understand we are government. So this is the most important thing that I wanted to share with everyone in for the Paramashiva Sena program, become part of the Hindu Parliament of Kailasa, starting from January 10th, 2024. Muktikama, would you like to have a few frequently asked questions? So probably you could address questions. You can go ahead and post the messages and post it. Yes. So we have a few people who are asking and the plan of the events that we are planning in Los Angeles and share about that and the major events when it is going to be happening.
And invite every organization. We're going to reach out on the ground saying every this grand initiative. When Kumbh Mela starts, the 13th of January all the way to the 26th of February, there are very unique special days that are considered to be on, and some of them are actually coinciding with. The first one is Shankranti and Pongal. We're going to be conducting a lot of. We'll be conducting the Shankranti. Is also going to be the first Snan day. The exact details of each and every date, what celebration at each location will actually be shared and informed to everybody. Is going to be Shivaratri, which is 26th of February. A grand celebration with multiple snans or abhishekams to Parameshwar, one of the major highlights. But what we are doing is we would love to have participants across the world. So once in each of the various centers and temples and others, be celebrating Kumbh Mela in those locations on the of Kumbh Mela. Maharaj, would you be able to show the screen that has the main dates?
The sure. Dates also with all of you in a short while.
And the main date where we are going to be having outside of India is going to be on February 2nd. We are looking to have a snan. We're looking to have so many variety of auspicious happenings, such as various cultural events. We're going to be having the snan where we will be dipping and where people will get to touch the water and sprinkle on themselves. So there is a lot that means snan date, which is going to be February 2nd in 3rd February in India. So simultaneously on the 3rd of February, February 2nd, this is the big day where we are everybody to come and be a part of this celebration. Experience Hinduism. Come and experience the multitude joy of participating together with multiple dates and different opportunities, both in temples and centers across the world, and the grand in Prayag as well as in LA on the 2nd. And plan your days, please plan your flights, please plan your stay. Welcoming each and every one of you will experience what Sanatana Hindu Dharma is.
And at the same time, this whole event is also a dire need. The rate at which the Hindu persecution is happening, the next generation of the Hindus being completely moved away from Hindu. other religions is unprecedented. In fact, the Hindu music media, the Hindu phobic media, that oh, Hindu youth were killed and Hindu youth, no specific reason to say why and how that happened. But the and the Hindu phobic media does not want you to do. And if we just look at some of the statistics that I'm showing for all of you on 19 to 2024, over 172 Hindu students have done. The mainstream media, the Hindu phobic and Hindu music media, they will give you various reasons telling that oh, they were accidental. And the truth is all of this is a targeted attack. Even 24, just during this last year, students have died during this period in time. So the alarming rate are being attacked. The alarming rate at which attacked is unprecedented. Hinduism himself has faced multi levels of persecution up for the true Hinduism, for each and every one of us to call a religion. If not for Swamiji, none of us would exist today being Hindus. And there is so much of hate going on. But all the Hindus, all of us think, oh, it is somebody else's problem. No, somebody else is not going to fix it. It is responsibility. It is each and every one of us who need to take. And this has been going on. For example, in over 4,000 Hindu mutts were destroyed. Had introduced the HRNC Act in Tamil Nadu. Not even stood up and voiced. It was only one Adinam, the 227th Sannidhanam, who actually fasted. Not a single other Shaiva Velalar or a Brahmin at that point. And today, the entire tradition is destroyed. Remember all of these crimes that were committed earlier. Lethargic Hindus who are the reason for the degeneration. All the best things of our life that we have received in our life is from the Hindu tradition. Under attack, we feel, oh, somebody else is going to do it. Sri Lanka, when the Portuguese came and invaded Sri Lanka, Hindu temples, all the Hindu temples, not even one was, were completely destroyed. Every in Sri Lanka is recently built within the last 100 years. Because, and at that point in time, again, the same Hindus who had the responsibility to protect Hinduism never protected. But what is happening right now? It is the entire generation, the next generation of Hindus are gone. That is the truth. In this generation, where modernization and choices are so much, is not just not being a living tradition. No, the next generation Hindus don't want to associate themselves with the fact. Maybe Muktikama, you can throw a little more light in this, especially how the next generation is completely out of Hinduism, themselves with Hinduism anymore.
Really critical issues that has been going on here. The false narrative, if I can say that, right? The false narrative, how it has been, how Hinduism is, or that it is something ancient that does not apply is being presented. Children that are in school facing the being ridiculed is with the wrong ideas that people have. So in the children are actually looking at, not associate, wondering why is it even there, why do their parents follow it, or for them. But understand that this is coming a foundation. What the Supreme Court of Hinduism ensure that the youth are not lost. The youth right cognitions, and based on which they understand how they can stand strongly and say, I am a Hindu and I am proud of my heritage. My heritage that I can be and to be. And that is what Hinduism is all about. And what we are of the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism is to bring the Upanishads, the Bhagavad Gita, so that actually share immense knowledge of what is. And when this is given to our youth stand strong in society. And this is very, very important, where there is, due to lack of proper understanding and being attacked, Hindus are being, shown, wrong information is thrown at them. And I think it's time we and really educated the world on how powerful, why it is relevant, not just in the ancient times, but it is meant to be a way of life. It is meant to show you yourself as your peak possibility, right? And to be successful, whether it is at home with all your relationships, whether it is how you feel comfortable and strong, everything starts from within. Is established when you get the right cognition of Hinduism. And you should feel, as a Hindu. And that comes with the understanding of, and this is what will happen whether you take the courses that are there on Nityananda Hindu Paramashivoham program, each and every aspect time in the spiritual ecosystems that are created across the express, and you get to share with your children also, right? To all the youth of the world, come and look at what it means for you. This religion, this way of life is meant for you, meant to support you in your journey. Again, I can go back to my personal experience. And, they have been introduced to Hinduism. They have been introduced to cognitions that come from the various shastras. I see how they are standing strong, how mature they are. And that is what I would love to have, that to the youth of the world. We are here as a nation looking to, so that as you have the support and the space that is supporting you, you get to travel how this is a blessing for you, how you can create your life. And you can ask, I encourage the parents to come with your children, to let them experience this. In fact, I was sharing we're doing things in the reverse order. The children would go to the Gurukul, they would spend the one to guide and guide them through the journey in who am I, what am I, and how am I going to make things happen. That understanding Guru. And that was such a powerful way children went to the Gurukul and how they can make their decisions. Then once 15 and they leave the Gurukul, then they get to experience life, what they have learned and what blessing of knowledge from their Guru. And with that, whether it is, you become a Kshatriya, a warrior, protect a business person, or whether you become someone who is, sharing about religion. So whatever you choose to do used to happen after that strengthens your inner core. But today, fear. It is about going to school or getting started right at the age of 2, 3, so that you're really, how can you make more money, or how can you be educated so that you have food, you have shelter. If you don't understand how to live life, then you're not good. Really want to take people away from the fear-based to an empowerment-based ecosystem. Hope and empowerment is what takes things forward. And that is the from Sanatana Hindu Dharma. Kailasa as a nation committed to the service of humanity. We are here as I've been sharing. And this is something that I will really welcome, whether you're in school or college, or whether you're looking started your job, you're just getting married, whatever life, come and attend Paramashivoham, come and see what it means for you, because it will be a new you, powerful you that is going to contribute to the people around you and make the world. Let us do this together.
Yes, ma'am. And now also, ma'am, is that the generation that we are losing, and the reason for that we have been crushed, Hindus have been crushed due to hundreds and thousands of years genocide and persecution, because of which our literally crushed into pieces. All the protectors, whether all of them were crushed, the Saiva Velalars or the Brahmins were crushed by that took place, and that impact still leading all the way. But if at this point in time we do not, nation will not have anything to call as Hinduism. Why is going on? As we are seeing, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, despite relentless attacks and persecution on the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, this is a beacon of hope. Swamiji stands as a living example of protect our tradition. It is the same way. At one, it was actually during one of the Mughal conquests. I wanted to share this with everyone. At that time, it was during the. He was continuously trying to attack the Kashi city, and he was trying to destroy. Kashi was actually protected by the Hindu warriors. They are the Naga. What happened was during the Chatur Naga sannyasis, the Naga sadhus, throughout take weapon, they protect the temples, and 4 years goes for the. During this 4 month period in time, they do not. Weapons are all stacked together in the akhadas, and not to touch weapons during this period in time. So until then, multiple times to lay waste the entire do it, but he could never do it. What happened was Chaturmasya period, one traitor from inside information that during this 4 month period, the Nagas touch any weapons. So then what happens is that to go and destroy the Kashi Vishwanath temple. All the Naga sadhus understood that there is temple is going to be destroyed because they are not going to, because by the time they cannot, and they also have taken a vow. So what they do is protect the Shivalinga, the Kashi Shivalinga, the Jyotirlinga. Sadhus go and take the Shivalinga they protect, and 10 Naga sadhus form around the entire temple. And literally, the entire army of Aurangzeb had to cut through, kill all of these 10,000, that their death is inevitable, knowing the temple is going to be, not knowing whether their future is even going to be, protect the temple. Despite all of this, 10,000 life stood, created a human barrier, cutting through time. It was sword, and cutting 10,000 people was not a joke. Their life bought time for one day, and took Kashi Vishwanath temple and went to the Jala Samadhi. We have Kashi Vishwanath temple with the Jyotirlinga which is there. The Kashi temple was rebuilt, but it is the sacrifice of Nagas who actually are the reason today we have Kashi Vishwanatha, for us to all have darshan. Naga sadhus who took the responsibility. Same the period of the next period in time, the next Mughal. When the Kumbh Mela was happening, this was Kumbh Mela was happening. He wanted to actually make the whole, wanted to mock and disgrace the entire tradition. So what he did was, first he, and all the Naga sadhus and everyone who had to attend the pilgrimage had to pay tax. Went ahead and paid. On top of it, what he did, naked young Hindu women stand during that Peshwai time on the streets. Sannyasis. If you understand, Naga sannyasis are all completely naked. They're beyond the senses and completely in control of their senses. To disgrace the entire, naked young Hindu women stand on the roads, and to disgrace the Hindus, the Nagas. A statement, the 2,000 Nagas who came that time challenged by the bells to the genital organs, the male genital organs, of the male genital organs, behead themselves. And they walked the entire procession, the entire period, bell rang. And after the snan, they returned back to their camps, not of their bells rang, and slapped on the face of the Mughals at that point in time. But it didn't even stop. Do it more. What happened was, this Mughal king women in disguise as Hindu women to go to these Nagas, trying to entice them, asking them to give them, I have a child with them. The Naga sannyasis organs and gave it, telling, here, this is, you asked for. People just got scared and taken and ran. Power of the Naga sannyasis. That is the power of. It is time that each and every one of us, it is time that each and every one of us take the persecution, to stand as Naga sannyasis, to stand at this age and in this time. We don't have to go ourselves. No, that is not what is needed at this point in time. But to stick the ground, to make things happen, that allowing the persecution, not allowing our have been constricted, the way we have been persecuted, not and not letting our next generation just take one of our responsibility to protect Hinduism, take this oath, to take this responsibility, as tomorrow there won't be anything for each and any one of us to call as Hinduism. It is our to protect Hinduism. Take this 1 month off between December 10th to January. Future of your generation, for the future. Otherwise, each and every one of us will not have the next generation. So take this responsibility and sign up. Go ahead and sign /US Kumbh to sign up and become. After all that we are doing is spreading peace, love, compassion. This is what we are doing. One of us get to the ground, just like how the Naga sannyas and how Bhagavan, the Supreme Pontiff of Hinduism, Bhagavan Sri Nityananda Paramashiva, is screaming his lungs out and to this truth, giving his life despite the persecution, giving his life, honoring them. Take this decision for honoring the sacrifice of the great ancient traditions, our ancestors, giving his entire life, and he's continuously giving of our life just for us. So take this off to become part of the Hindu Parliament and take the responsibility of Hinduism to become the protectors that is there.
Maharaj, that we are actually the kings and queens of today, ready and are being empowered. We are being take forward the baton and the torch. How each and every one of us need to look at it as we are the inspirers, we are the protectors, and whatever it takes, we in a beautiful way, and like you very rightly shared, we have coexistence, harmony, love, and empowerment. Has stood the test of time from time immemorial. To also invite all the temples, the Hindu, the organizers, every one of you, every organization is in We are going to co-create the reality that we want for the future Hindus. And that is a commitment that we give as we make this happen.
Yes, ma. Youth, all the Hindu youth around the world, it is time responsibility to protect what rightfully belongs to us, ours, and not let the centuries worth of colonialism crush, just like how our ancestors were crushed by the brutality, not letting that happen and keeping the dharma alive, keeping our tradition alive for the next generation is our responsibility. Go ahead and sign up